The IQ Man is the third episode of the fourth season of Full House. This is directed by Zwick, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. Often with Full House, I'll go through things chronologically, but with this one, I'm going to go through each main part of the narrative and discuss them in turn, and then things kind of group together a little bit as well. It starts off really adorably with Michelle getting ready for bed, and Comet is in the bed, and I just think Comet is so adorable. I love whenever we get to see the dog, and I kind of could see what was going to happen. I've seen the episode before, couldn't remember, but as soon as Danny came in to tuck Michelle in, I had a feeling there would be a case of mistaken identity with Comet, and it was adorable. A nice way to start things off. Stephanie is unwell, and honestly, there's not a lot of focus on Stephanie in this, and whenever we do focus on Stephanie, I actually feel like most of the comedy comes from Michelle, because she tries to make Stephanie chicken soup in a very creative way, and then she tries to make her orange juice in a very unsuccessful way. And I don't know why I feel this exactly, but I feel like Michelle has just grown up so much, even since the last episode, which is probably nonsense because presumably, since we're really early on in the season, these were filmed over the course of a couple of weeks. But it's really great to see her speech coming on and her having more involved in a lot of the comedy, and that's really delightful to see. We don't get too much out of Stephanie and Michelle in this, but what we get was pretty great. We then have two parts of the narrative, one about career day and one with Jesse and Joey. DJ and Kimmy are preparing, well, DJ is in charge of career day and Kimmy is around, and they actually are apparently getting Connie Chung to go to career day because somebody at school is related to Connie Chung, and we find out the next time this is brought up that actually that's not the case. Not only are they not getting Connie Chung for career day, but the kid's surname isn't even Chung. So that kind of fell through, and they were able to get Danny for career day and Becky, as well as the hosts of Wake Up San Francisco. If I had had the hosts of a successful daytime TV show doing a careers day at school, I would have lost my mind, because just as a brief aside, for about 11 or 12 years, I thought I was going to be a journalist. That's where my career path was heading. And if we had journalists coming into school for careers day, I would have lost it. So I would have loved Danny and Becky to come to my school, but it didn't exactly go down well with the rest of the class. We'll come back to careers day in a little bit. We then have the main focus, which is on Jesse and Joey. They have a meeting at the house with Mr. Malatesta and a character called Miss Garland, played by Jeannie Wilson, and I hate her. I cannot stand her. She's not meant to be likeable. At least I don't think she is. Straight away, she was acting very unprofessionally with Jesse. Basically, she realised he was attractive and she only had eyes for him, and she got very up close and personal with him. And they pitched this advert for this IQ fragrance, and she decides that they'll go for it. And it's kind of with the caveat that Jesse plays the role of the IQ man in the advert. He doesn't really want to do this, but he realises he doesn't have much of a choice if they want to work with Miss Garland for this advert. And he agrees, and he thinks he's going to be wearing a smoking jacket in the library. Honestly, that sounds like a brilliant ad. That would absolutely capture my attention. And it turns out that Miss Garland had ordered a bathroom setting, and Jesse was going to be wearing a bath towel. And honestly, I don't like the way she behaved. Again, I don't think she's meant to be likeable. I don't think we're meant to appreciate the way she's behaving. But it was uncomfortable to watch, and Jesse was clearly uncomfortable. I also feel like we do have some more character development with Jesse. We're seeing this quite a lot, and I feel like Jesse of season 1 would have really lapped up the opportunity to be the centre of attention, to be starring in this advert where he's basically being ogled by everybody. I could be wrong, maybe he wouldn't, but certainly I do feel like we're getting a lot of character progression with Jesse. And he realises enough is enough. He doesn't want to do this. He's not comfortable with it. He shouldn't be forced to. He calls Mr. Malatesta a spineless jellyfish, and then Joey, backing Jesse up, calls Mr. Malatesta a chicken McNugget. So very, very funny, very well written, and so lovely to see Joey supporting Jesse like that. And they quit. They're no longer working for Mr. Malatesta. And it's quite a while. It's been a while. I feel like I don't remember exactly how I felt when I first watched this, but I feel like I would have felt that when they started this advertising business, I don't think I'd predicted it lasting as long as it did. So the fact that they've had this working relationship with Mr. Malatesta, enough to be able to then quit and break the partnership, is pretty impressive and I think kind of significant. They then go to Careers Day to give a talk, and I like how the parts of the narrative came together there. And while there, they decide to go into business together with their own business, and they're going to start their own advertising company, and it's a really nice step forward. And then back at the house, Danny gives them a he gives them a check while he hums The Impossible Dream. I love that song, and it was very funny, very delightful, and he's going to be a silent partner in their advertising business, and it's beautiful, and it's a really lovely way to end things. I think it's a brilliant episode, and definitely one that I really thoroughly enjoyed. I have zero complaints. I think the IQ man is pretty fabulous, and one that I'm pretty sure I'll always enjoy.